She took his hand and she led him along that golden beach. Higher and higher and higher they climbed.
Never fight unless you're sure you can win.
They watched the waves tumble over the sand.
All right. 4 strands of rope.
She had all of the skin.
I get kicked out of La Quinta forever.
What are we doing? What do we do with poop?
What is freedom? Are we truly free?
What in the world?
In those Hollywood nights, in those Hollywood hills, she was looking so right in her diamonds and frills.
African American. We don't say black anymore. All right, here we go.
What's up, losers? Before I intro us, I do want to apologize. Last week was really low energy, and I'll take that full responsibility. I feel like I didn't give a fuck last week. And
what did you do? What did you ruin our whole shit, dude?
Well, I like to take the audience on a roller coaster, you know?
I also take a little blame on that. I'm sorry, guys.
Well, that's nice of you, Chris.
Yeah,
you have to be here for you to. No, just kidding.
We have a flogging after this that I'm pretty excited about.
Just in case you forgot, down there on the end, that is Chris Moody. Next to him, a little bit closer to me, Cole Watson. Closer to me still, Zach Howard. The closest to me that you can possibly get, TJ Nickerson, right here in the flesh. Boys, before we get into anything.
Yes. Let's hear it.
Chris Moody sent in the group text the gif of the shitty walk guy from South Park.
Yes.
And it reminded me that last night, are you guys familiar with the band Silverchair? They were big in the 90s and they were super young.
No.
Yeah,
I think when they were
I recall.
You probably will know the song, but I think they were 15 when they recorded it, which is pretty impressive. It's a pretty cool song.
And they were hot?
They're like grunge hot.
Nice.
Dirty boys.
Hot young bullies.
Young dirty boys. But they're
Love hot kids.
There's a part.
Whoa, I didn't say that.
There's a part in the song, and I don't even know if it's considered the bridge because it's like grunge, and they're just getting after it, and then they'll bring it down, and then they'll get after it again. But where they originally, I thought they were saying "black boy" a couple of times, which I thought was crazy. But then I watched the music video this morning, and it's like a guy with a prosthetic pig face, and I was like, "Oh, they're saying fat boy."
Nice.
But he says it twice, and the second time reminds me so much of South Park when he comes in and he's like, "Yeah, boy." I don't know why they did this.
Play it.
Hopefully I didn't. Is this better?
No.
God damn, I might have too much.
So wait, was the singer 15?
I think so.
That sucks, dude. I'm twice his age and I sound twice as young.
Sounds like he grew up like selling crack.
I did not enjoy that song either.
That song rips, dude.
I never knew he said that.
I've heard that song.
Yeah.
I thought he said "that boy," but "fat boy" is so much funnier.
Fat boy. I want to take and sample just "fat boy," and then hit my friends with it when they're getting thick.
When they're getting big?
Yeah, when they're getting
Damn,
fucking
dude,
fat.
don't be mean to your friends like that, dude.
No, it's good to be mean to your friends that way. It's care. It's love.
That's what friends are for.
No, dude.
Fat boy.
Friends are
Fat boy.
Friends are to gas you up, tell you you're doing everything right.
No, that's what women do, and they lie to each other all the fucking time.
And they stop being friends for months at a time.
Right.
That's true. What's
yes,
up?
yeah, girl,
shit.
have another shot. That would be so much fucking fun to hold your hair back while you're puking your brains out.
Can't wait. You're
You stupid
squean.
bitch.
Y'all squeening your friend into getting their stomach pumped.
Fucking idiots,
That's
dude.
That's Panama City, baby.
Oh,
Did you guys
man.
have a good spring break?
Cheryl got chlamydia, that stupid bitch.
She's the best.
Oh, I love her.
Do you think some girls like take fat out of their body and then immediately inject it into the other girl's ass or boobs or
Just
something?
secretly.
No, they would
Like
never
a
help
cyclical?
out. They would never help in that way.
Secretly.
No, they would never do that. Everything's a competition with them.
Do you think you could do a fat donation? If you were like, I want to have a fat ass, and I'm like, I'm getting a little round around the stomach,
Dude,
I'll give you some.
In Brazil, dude, they got it.
I keep it.
But they take it from
I keep my fat. I make them
fats.
take it out of me, and then I just
in
keep
jars.
Keep it in jars.
Canopic jars, like from the Mummy.
Jeez
They're like,
Louise.
why is Zach holding on to all this bacon grease?
Why is there formaldehyde with this bacon grease? What the hell?
Just up in my room, jiggling his fat.
Cooking with all his brown fat.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
That's crazy.
That took a crazy turn. I didn't like
I
that.
did see, every once in a while I'll stroll Twitter, obviously, looking like this.
Stroll or scroll?
Stroll. I like to stroll it. I like to walk and
Nice.
I like to slur.
Yeah, we know.
yeah, on Twitter under the
We know.
alias.
You like to stroll. I like to slur.
That is
We're
tight.
two different people.
But there was
I don't
like
even have Twitter.
there was like somebody that was like, remember this video that quickly went away of this? I think she was a Mexican supermodel who came out of some like high profile house party screaming "The elites eat people,"
Oh, shit,
and then
yeah, I
she
do
disappeared. I was
shit.
like, "Yo, I don't have any more on that." It was just a quick one.
Yeah, I saw. Man, there's a couple that you see videos out here, and we all know that there's no pedophile elite, or whatever.
Yeah, of
They're not
course.
gonna get killed
Of
or whatever.
course.
But I've seen a couple videos where they're like inside of like a chamber. There was one in particular I saw where it was like a cell phone video of like this huge cathedral type chamber, and in the middle of the chamber there was just this huge bowl of water, and there were these children in like linens,
Ew.
like just like loincloth linens that were scooping water out of the bowl.
Are you sure you weren't watching Game of Thrones?
No, I was watching that, and it was weird, and I was like, "What the fuck is this, dude?"
Is that on Vimeo?
Yeah, I know.
What was
It was in like a documentary I was watching.
Shit.
Like a documentary. It was in fucking 9-minute long YouTube video that some guy
The
had put
best ones.
together.
Right.
That it was like this 30th video I was on, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, I mean, obviously, those are
Once you're
tough.
30 videos in.
This was probably like 15 years ago too.
Oh.
It's the tears
It
of
could
the
have been
fallen.
from a movie.
It's just Daughters of Satan 6 or whatever.
Yeah.
But I saw it. Yeah, I saw it, and I was like, "Whoa!" Yeah, there's tons of stuff like that. There was that one guy. He was an actor,
I know him.
and he was like talking about all of the crazy sort of Hollywood cult stuff, and he was like, "I'm not crazy, and I'm not going to kill myself." And then he did. He killed himself. He jumped
Right.
off of a bridge.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, which is probably the easiest way to fake suicide somebody.
Just push somebody off of a bridge.
Yeah, just like that guy who
Oh,
blew
shit, he
himself
jumped.
up in front of Trump Tower in the Cybertruck. And
Yeah.
he sent those emails. He's like, "I'm perfectly fine. I'm not going to do anything to myself. They're following me."
And
Yeah.
And then they just have a
blows
video of
himself
him
up.
blowing himself. up
You
in
know,
front
I've been
of
wondering
Trump
why our
Tower,
videos
so.
aren't doing well.
Yeah,
Yeah, there would be like a series of events that would be obvious that I was about to kill myself, like heroin, hookers, like spending money like a madman.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
And then I die, yeah, I actually killed myself.
Right,
but
I'm
if it's
trying
like
to-
if it's like Cole's fine, now he's dead, I didn't do it.
Cole's gonna go out like Lamar Odom.
Yeah, dude, I'm
though
I'm
Lamar-
dosing
as soon as you-
everything.
I think I mean, I hear what you're saying.
Did Lamar Odom die?
Nice.
He's fine, right? But he OD'd
Oh, I think he OD'd and had like a stroke or something.
He might have
And then
stroke.
I think
at
he
the Bunny
survived.
Ranch, but I thought he survived, right?
He did. Yes,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
did.
Which is like I might as well
If you're out
test
there, Lamar
everything
Odom.
out
That's what I'm
out
saying.
there.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
if I'm like wanting to end my life, and she's like, well, let's just try some things that I know I'm not supposed to try.
Let me
Yeah.
provide
Yeah,
you with
yeah.
the counter argument to that.
It might make me want to live.
Well, I think that the will to try new things is the will to live. I think if you do wind up, taking things into your own hands, it probably will be very quiet and somber. You're probably not like gonna party for like 3 weeks and then be like,
but-
Yeah.
all right, let's eat this gun.
Trying to take too much heroin while you come at a brothel is
Yeah.
probably
You probably
the way.
will like that. Yeah,
That's
you'll
what
like
I'm
that a
saying.
lot.
That's
Like
what
I
I-
want to
yeah.
go out in ecstasy,
You'll
That's
baby.
the way you.
Yeah.
If you had terminal cancer and you
Right.
were going to kill yourself, Yes, I agree with you. But if you are just like sad, you're not going to find the will to be like, all right, I gotta go buy drugs and then drive to Vegas and then.
Who says you have to drive to Vegas for hookers?
You know, just
I want to do it legal.
Do you want to do it? No,
I want to do it by the book.
Do it the
max
right
level.
way.
He went out the right way.
By the time you got to Vegas, you might see enough of the country to be like, I don't want to go. That's pretty nice out here.
It's actually great, dude.
Holy shit, now I have this crippling heroin addiction. Fuck.
Mississippi's actually pretty tight.
Mississippi. Dude, I love Mississippi.
No, you go through the mountains.
I love Biloxi.
Drive to Vegas. It takes 6 days.
We're all one UFO away from killing ourselves. It seems like the running theme. When people see UFOs and try to come out about it, and they just die.
Yeah. I did listen to that Stephen Greer dude on Jesse Michaels.
Jesse Michaels.
Did you listen to that one?
I did. I'm like a quarter of the way through.
I've got probably a quarter left, and it's funny.
See the bald guy with glasses?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
don't like him.
Well, he's a little prickly,
Yes.
but he also
Kind of a know-it-all.
for sure. But he's 70 and has
Sure,
been in the
looks
game
Oh yeah, for a
for
long
a long time. Was a medical doctor before that. I'm not, obviously, who knows, but he also some of this stuff makes sense where you're like, guys like Lou Elizondo make too much sense.
Right.
Where it's like this
Too clean.
This contractor who's like, no, I would like to be the facilitator to get disclosure to normal people, and I saw all this stuff in sort of Black Ops and like whatever, and you're like, yeah, but also the point Stephen Greer makes is like, if somebody is telling you that extraterrestrials are a potential threat to national security, that's bullshit. And that's a fear-mongering so that we'll commit to some one world like lockdown.
Right. Yeah.
I just don't. I have had such a hard time. I've never believed in UFOs.
Okay.
I've tried dozens of times to open my heart up to it. The closest I've gotten is I like Bob Lazar.
Yeah.
And I like the idea that we don't know what it is, that we just found this stuff.
Right.
You know, that like they were digging in the desert and they came across these craft.
Sure.
And it's just like this, we reverse engineered it. It's us. You know, I like that. Or maybe the Tucker Carlson thing. We talked about that.
Well, that's what Stephen Greer says, is that it's one of three things usually. It's man-made, which could be U.S., could be whatever. But that China. Nice. Get 'em, kiss.
That was sick.
That
We're best friends.
in unit, like in perfect unit.
James, you owe me a kiss. That we've had like technology for this kind of stuff since as early as the 40s or 50s.
Dub 2.
Yeah, just
Dub,
after.
dub.
47 maybe is what the idea might be. Which I think is Roswell, right? 47.
Yeah.
And then there's the extraterrestrial thing, which is like an adjacent star system, and that they're, if not benign, leaning towards benevolent. And then the other possibility is interdimensional, which some are good and some are bad.
Angels and demons.
Right.
I don't know, man.
Obviously you don't.
I think white Christ is
Just a jacked six-pack Jesus.
just a regular white Christ is probably the answer. I don't know, man. I've wrestled with this thought because if there
naked.
I wrestle like David. I wrestle with this thought before the Lord, dude.
Naked.
And it doesn't make a whole lot of sense that there's something else out in the universe that could make its way to us, and then would take all the time to make its way out here, and then be like, all right, now we just chill. We don't do anything.
I haven't
Just
considered any
just
of it.
fuck with them.
I don't. I don't believe. I don't care.
I don't.
And
it's great. You take it, man. You just interrupt me.
Yeah, I'm just getting. I'm
King.
pretty much summarizing your point. It doesn't matter. Who cares?
I mean,
It doesn't matter who cares. I do like that.
the idea that I've heard is that
We either fucked or we're not. It's like whatever. What am I going to do about it? If you can quantum leap across the universe, you can nuke us to smithereens before we would even know.
Well, and that's kind of his argument about why it's stupid for these high-ranking whistleblowers to come out and be like, we should be afraid of them. Because if they wanted to turn us into a cinder or a slave planet or whatever,
They could have already done
that would have been happening for.
It's already happening.
Or they already did. Yeah.
But the ideas that they obviously like have gotten interested in us in a few times in history. And one of the big times in lore is the detonation of the atomic bombs. And that there was supposedly a deal made, and I forgot who it was with, maybe Eisenhower, but for superior technology as long as we would all agree to get rid of nukes. And we were like, yeah, okay. Sigh. Which is interesting enough, but I have no idea.
Here's what I like. I like either that whatever we are has existed for a very, very long time, right? Like way longer than people think.
Yeah.
Right? Millions of years we've existed like this, and occasionally we've gotten smart, and this time we dug real deep in the ground, and then we were like, whoa, we found a thing, and it's from back in the day. Or we get really, really smart in the future.
That's the other one.
And then these are things from the future that we have come back.
Where
they crashed these things, and then we were like, hey, what is this? Oh, this is from the future. Okay, this is how we do it.
Yeah,
and
it's a donation so that maybe we can preserve Earth because we've become...
Yeah, but now we're talking
interplanetary.
Terminator. Yeah. Now we're talking Terminator.
Talking Wall-E.
We're fucking talking Terminator.
Yeah.
You got to send the thing back, and then that creates the thing that the fucking...
How about Wall-E?
John Connor's mom's got to sleep with the guy that they send back in time, or else John Connor's not even born.
Except this time, you're John Connor's mom, dude.
I'm John Connor's mom, and I don't want to sleep with the alien. I don't want to do it.
I don't think he's an alien. It's Michael Bean. Michael Bean is hunky, dude.
I don't want to sleep with Michael Bean, the alien.
What the fuck?
It's Johnny Ringo, baby. Shit. Michael Bean got me all thrown off.
Shit,
Terminator.
dude. Michael Bean, Terminator.
It was fun to watch Stephen Greer get sassy with Jesse Michaels, though. Jesse Michaels put together a whole supercut of all the times in this interview that at the beginning of the pod, every time Stephen Greer is like, well, if you'll stop interrupting me, I'll tell you. And Jesse Michaels is like the sweetest, young, weird, self-taught genius. And I was like, damn, Stephen Greer is prickly, but he's also going to be 70 next month.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't have time for this.
You
Just
know
listen.
the secrets. I mean, it is what it is. So I don't see why people say we're like Matt and Shane's Secret Podcast. We really talk about the gayest stuff, dude. Another comment this week. We caught another stray bullet. Some guy being like, these guys just want to be Matt and Shane's Secret Podcast.
Who doesn't, though?
And that hurts my feelings, personally. I want you to know if you're out there and you're watching this video, I hurt myself.
Well, that guy just...
those comments. While I masturbate.
Yeah, he flogged himself.
I assume
Love
that
flogging.
guy just wants his wife to stop begging him to be a cuck. So
Yeah, right.
you know.
Yeah.
I love responding to those comments because I'm just like, yeah, you're right.
You're right.
100%.
Yeah, why
It's
not?
Clear
Why not?
who
Who
watch
cares?
their podcast.
Well, I just also
it's
think-
very evident.
I've taken a break.
This is a great
I
podcast.
haven't, yeah, me neither.
I haven't slowed down at all. I've rewatched shit.
These people don't know all the forefathers, though. Stop forgetting about Cumtown. We want to be Cumtown.
Yeah,
Yeah, we wanna be
Cumtown's great. Oh, yeah.
But I think it's good to just. I think it's good to show the light of Christ to your enemies. You know?
That's right.
So when people say mean things to me on the
Yes.
internet, I just agree with them because
Yes, obviously.
I want them to find Christ.
And thank Nick Mullen for liking my Instagram DM, dude.
That was a
What a guy.
wild message.
What a guy.
That was, dude.
Dude,
What a
the
guy.
things you get away with is
Yeah.
insane.
Like Chris
guy.
said, Chris in the group chat yesterday, Chris texts, oh shit, I forgot to sign up for Atlanta's Funniest. You think I can still sign up? And then it was sold out. And he was like, oh no, it's sold out. He was like, don't worry. I sent Kristen a crazy email, so fingers crossed.
He actually got it while you were upstairs. He got an email back.
Yeah,
they gonna let you in?
Colleen
It
let me
seems
in, dude.
promising.
Let's go!
Yeah, let's go. We're in.
Nice.
We're in, dude. I think it's because of you guys. though.
Promising.
I think it's because of you guys.
No, it's
Thank
because you're
you.
funny.
Yeah. Well, no, they have no
Down
idea
there.
who I am.
Down
Because you're
That's
the
'cause you're
dark
funny.
horse, dude.
They have no idea.
Because you sent a funny email to them. You sent an email that was like, hello,
Jesus, guy.
I have your whole family.
Yeah.
Please let me do this.
If you do not let me compete in this competition, I will tickle them to death.
They're like, do you know this is? I was like, oh, this isn't Hamas. I thought I was talking to. I thought I was talking directly to Hamas. Hamas.
Yes.
Dude, I had a weird thing happen this week. I was like getting ready to go in the shower.
Okay.
You know, I was like naked,
Fully.
fully naked.
Wrestling with God.
You know, wrestling with God. Just why?
Wrestling.
And like I haven't shaved in a while, so I got pubes. It's like cold. You have the AC on.
Pubed up
I'm
before
pubed
God.
up before God. Just why? And
That's crazy.
I'm like
Stay
about
pubed
to
up.
like get into the shower. I'm like pulling the door open. And my dick has just retreated, like
Oh, yeah.
Homer Simpson in the bushes.
Yeah.
Now it's only like 8 inches.
Yeah,
But-
you know, before you get in the shower, then once you get in the shower, like loosens up,
Softens up, yeah.
Sure.
Well, who comes running into my room is just David,
Your
my
newborn.
10-year-old son. Oh yeah, my newborn. David Moody just comes running.
I like how I went to all that trouble 2 weeks ago to bleep his name out. Is the
Yeah.
expectation here that I have to bleep you saying your own son's name out on the podcast?
That's crazy. I did that. Yeah, he came in and like it was one of
full
those
name.
moments.
What's his
like-
middle name?
I don't know.
Sorry, so your son comes in.
What's his social?
I don't know him that well. I just got custody of him.
He comes in. I'm sorry.
DM
Yeah.
comes in.
He comes in and you know it's one of those moments. It's a big moment. I remember the first time I saw my dad's penis, and it was at a urinal at a Braves game because they don't have any separators.
Yeah.
and it was
Pig trough.
It was nice, dude. I was
Trough.
like, oh, you know what I mean? You want about? Yeah, it's just like, wow, that's impressive. I'm glad my dad has that penis. You know.
Peace.
Well, this was not a great moment for him to walk in and see my penis
Huge
just
L.
retract. Yeah, and you could see in his eyes, he was just like, he was just like, huh. You know, like, I get, you know, because he doesn't know. He's like, I thought penises would get bigger by the time I got older. So in his mind, he's just thinking penises just
Right,
stay small.
well,
He's like, well, that's the same size as mine.
Well, you just had a pee right there. You didn't have a pee.
Yeah. Right. Oh,
You're telling me
Kid saw your winky.
my dad's got a kid penis?
so I've literally this whole week I've just been devising ways, like setting up situations where I am soft and like good, you know, and then
Whoa,
like,
dude, you
just
put-
leaving room doors open and
Jesus
trying to like walk,
Christ.
you know what I mean? Just get so he has a decent image in his mind of what a penis should look like. You know what I mean?
You know,
Like,
I'm
hey,
actually
David, can you come get the laundry in the washing
Hey, I'm
I'm
just
actually
over.
gonna back you
I'm
on this
over
one.
here.
Yeah.
Soft as hell.
I'm going to back Chris up on this one because you, like,
You don't
to
want
see
that.
your father's penis and be disappointed
Come on,
is
dude.
to not leave a legacy behind.
Yeah.
Like,
You're concerned that he might have lost all respect for you, so
Yes.
now you have to set forth this insane conspiracy to
Yes,
see your
I do.
fluffed pee.
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
fluff,
And then-
just
and then-
regular
Just
surgery.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
I'm
regular.
gonna shave every pube off.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make it,
It
really
is-
presentable.
Then he's gonna think, oh, now my dad's gay.
Holy shit, he's
Why
gay
would you do
and he
this
has
to
a
me?
small wiener.
Why would you
Now
do
it
this to
really
me?
looks like mine. There's no hair there either.
I'm gonna be.
Insane.
Can I be honest with you guys?
No.
Can I be truly honest with you guys?
Finally.
I grew up in a house where I saw my father's wiener quite a bit.
Oh, really? What
This
was
is
the
a different
situation?
podcast, dude.
He would fall. He was like a loose boxers guy. You know,
Oh,
he was
yeah.
like a regular boxers guy.
He'd lean over to pick something
No,
up.
no, no, no.
And his big cleavage.
No.
Hit you in the
But
forehead.
he was. My dad is still a serial. I mean, I don't know if him and my mom have slept in the same bed for. I mean, since I was born. Okay,
Right.
so he sleeps on the couch and he sleeps in his recliner. But
Nice.
you know, you come. We live in a ranch with a basement. My parents live in a ranch with a basement. So I come upstairs, and my dad would be asleep in the recliner in the living room. I have to go to the living room to go to the kitchen to get whatever
yeah.
I need, and he's asleep with his leg, you know, up on the recliner and his
yeah.
hog hanging out, like he's just asleep. One time,
This is why I love briefs.
yeah, this
You
is
gotta keep- you gotta keep that thing
it
in
together. This was
cage.
pre-briefs,
And a
dude.
holster.
2004, we didn't have briefs.
Everyone had briefs. Michael Jordan was pushing him with a Hitler
Not in,
mustache.
not in Forsyth County, we didn't have briefs.
I'm out here in the woods.
I want to tell this story because
All
this
right.
is really funny. So one time in high school, I had a buddy who stayed over at my house. All right, And he was like, I gotta get up. Cole's so interested in
No,
my
it's
story.
hot as hell.
He's gotta leave.
I gotta take
He's got to take that lilac sweater off.
And reveal even more skin.
So shirt with this
He's
short.
like, I gotta. Yeah.
All this.
He may have told the lady to
hit him
tune
with one
into
of
the
these.
Yeah, check out.
podcast.
You're gonna want to see it this
You're
week.
gonna want to watch the
We're gonna talk
podcast.
daddy dicks. And I'm gonna take all my.
No,
clothes
I'm
off.
going to the gym after
Oh,
this.
sorry.
Oh, that's all I
dude.
had.
How those triceps
It's
coming
61 degrees outside.
Not good, dude. I didn't work out last week.
along? Nips are
All right, listen.
fully hard.
So I had a homie staying over at my house, and he had to get up early for something. We were still in high school, and he had to leave, maybe even to go to school, right? So he had to get up at like 6 to go to school. And I was like, all right, cool. I had like bunk beds down in the basement. I was like, just be quiet when you leave in the morning, right?
You don't want to wake my daddy.
You don't want to wake the sleeping dragon.
Don't wake daddy. Board game.
The floor creaks and it just moves a little bit.
So in the morning, I hear Andrew go up the stairs. He's being relatively
Shout
quiet.
out.
Shout out, man. Shout out, my boy Andrew.
Sorry, dude.
Going up the stairs, and he opens the door, and then I hear him. I'm awake, I'm down there. He had woken me up. I slept in the bunk bed, and I hear him kind of shuffle around upstairs, and then come back down into the stairwell, close the door to the upstairs, and then walk back downstairs. And he comes downstairs, and I'm awake, so I'm like, what's up? Why'd you come back? And he was like, just ran into your dad upstairs. It's like, yeah. He's like, completely naked. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, your dad was just completely naked standing in the kitchen. And I was like, what did he say to you? And he was like, don't you ever knock or something?
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
This is the kitchen.
Andrew said,
It's not even a door.
I'm in the kitchen. What do you want me to do? And he was like, go back downstairs. And so Andrew came back downstairs, and I was like,
funny.
Trapped by a dad
sorry,
dick.
dude.
That's amazing. Held hostage.
And then
by
he
a
had to
penis.
walk around outside.
Was your dad
In the basement.
homeschooled too?
No, my dad didn't know. My dad didn't know anybody was at the house, especially, look, I'm homeschooled. I'm going to sleep till 10 o'clock, right?
Where are you gonna be?
Yeah.
You are homeschooled.
He's not thinking anybody, but he's thinking,
But yeah,
the
Zach
family's
never
asleep.
gets up this
Nobody's
early.
awake.
This is my
at
time.
6:20. Yeah.
Feel the wind amongst
Stand in my own home naked for a
That's
second.
probably the most freeing feeling ever, though, dude. Being in your own kitchen at your house, making a sandwich.
But can you
naked.
imagine? Like
I don't. No.
Amazing.
17, if you were 17
That's
and you were at
crazy.
your buddy's house
Yeah.
and you walked up the stairs
What-
on your buddy's dad,
Would be wild.
butt ass naked.
Would be
yeah.
super wild as if your dad was in there frying up some bacon and just getting splashed every once in a while, going,
Grease
If you, he's coming. If that's what he's doing. Like,
I cooked when I was like, I took to. We'll get back to dad dicks. I took to cooking pretty young, and like my favorite thing to cook was bacon. So one time when somebody was over, and you're just a young man in the summertime cooking bacon. So I was like, I didn't even think about it. I just had my shirt off, and then I got splashed so bad. I never did that again.
Oh, that's the worst.
For real, learn the hard way,
burns
guy.
so bad.
But anyway, your dad.
Butterfly
yeah, your gay dad.
for my little girl.
What did he say? He turned on butterfly kisses, and then we danced in the kitchen.
What did he say? I got upstairs and then he made me take my clothes off and then we wrestled.
Before God.
God!
That's great.
Pubes and all.
Yeah, I was homeschooled and Mormon. Old school Mormon.
Dad was like, while you're up here, son, you might as well get in with me and God.
we haven't Greco-Roman wrestled in a while. Your dad's gonna hate this if he ever sees it.
Yeah.
He's like, it's fine. You tell the story, then you insinuate I do weird gay stuff with my son. No way.
Seems like more of a ball appreciation guy. You cup each other's balls.
I gotta
Ever see
pee.
Will Blunderfield?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. I'm going to get real Spartan about it.
Yeah, get real Spartan.
I think how we do this podcast, everybody's got to pee, take their clothes off.
This is the first time I've ever
You
been
can't
hot.
sit still for 1 minute.
This is the first time I've ever been hot in this house.
You could have asked me to turn the air conditioning on, dude.
But this is fine.
Butterfly kisses. What have you guys been up to this week? Chris, we haven't seen you in a while, man. What have you been up to?
No,
Fill us in.
Yeah, penis.
Fill us up.
stuff.
Penis
My
stuff.
son. Yeah, dude. I've been busy at work, dude.
You love
I've
to see
been
it?
working my ass off. Honestly, closing loans and getting people into debt.
You're
Lots
Ossoff?
of debt. Ossoff, John Ossoff.
You
I've
been
been
voting
getting
your
text
Ossoff?
messages about Ossoff, dude. What's going on with him? What's happening with Ossoff?
They're
right
running,
now?
I guess.
Oh, okay, that's good.
They're running, dude. I've been listening to this podcast about Jim.
The Jews?
Well, I finished that.
Okay.
But about Jim Jones, and the big portion of this podcast about Jim Jones is about the civil rights movement. And, I'm constantly reminded of how not hard people have it today, dude,
Oh yeah.
compared to what was going on back
Oh,
then.
it's
dude.
nuts. Yeah, we have
For
it so
sure.
easy.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the and I think it might be the
Like you
the
trick
hard
it.
part about life today is because it's not hard. Like it should be harder. I think we'd be better if life was harder.
I think there's probably something to that. I think we're headed that way, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's that
Well, that saying.
cliche.
No
yeah.
resistance, no growth.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, hard men
we
create
almost got
easy
on it for a
times.
second.
Easy
but
times create
I assume,
Weak men, weak men
Pussies.
create hard times.
I assume you guys have seen it a million times. I've never actually seen the movie, but Wall-E,
Oh yeah, I've seen
for
Wall-E.
it to be just a kid's movie,
It's dark as hell.
Except it's about how humanity gets so shitty that people just get fat and ride rascal scooters and spend time in virtual. I don't know.
I've
I
actually
didn't see
never
the
seen
movie.
that movie.
I think
Really?
I need to. Yeah.
a lot of people point to Wall-E or Idiocracy. I think the reality is probably much darker. We are collectively as a people. It does feel like we're getting dumber, right?
Sure.
But maybe that's just in comparison to maybe like the '60s and the '50s. People were pretty dumb,
Yeah.
in the 1600s.
A lot of
I think what's-
mercury,
what's
lead poisoning. I mean,
Yeah, I think what's really probably going to happen is that
Feces.
people will probably just get tired of being treated a certain kind of way, right?
Sure.
And then eventually violence, right? And then we'll just be like any other country where we're just, bombing people.
War-torn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what has happened. I have a theory that people have gotten advanced like this before, and that civilization's been destroyed. And it's just
Yeah.
a cyclical cycle
Go
of this.
off.
Yeah, like-
this whole we grow, we die, we grow, we die
DJ
kind
was
of
just
thing.
talking about
Yeah.
Iran.
Oh yeah, Iran's got a
Iran
lot
so
of history.
far away.
That's exactly
lot
what he
of-
was talking
When
about.
I said
Yeah.
it, I said
Yeah.
Iran.
Iran.
Well, yeah,
But just like
Iran.
in the 60s or whatever, the 50s and 60s,
60s
it was
and
like
70s, all the way up until the late 70s,
it
early
was
80s.
like a cultural hub full of beautiful women and painters and musicians.
art.
And then,
We
bad
can.
things happen. Yeah, then
Yeah.
we show up. Right?
Yeah.
and the Contra.
Like,
then
hey,
the-
you ever
Overthrow
held a gun
governments.
before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
I
like,
know, right?
hey, you guys stop giving that oil to Russia. We need it. And they're like, no. And then we were like, okay, then we're taking it.
We'll overthrow your government, and then we'll figure it out. Yep.
Yeah.
It's wild stuff.
But it's interesting to go back and listen to some of this history stuff and be like, oh, yeah, it's really a couple, 10, 15, 20 years, things can really change.
Oh, yeah.
Really change.
Oh,
You can
yeah.
go from, they talk about in World War One, it's like one of the bloodiest wars because everybody was so used to, the last major wars had been in the 1800s and they had all been fought with revolvers and stuff. It's just regular
And
stuff.
cannons.
Yeah, and cannons and stuff.
But you would
People-
just march in a straight line.
yeah, you just march and
Towards
you
each
shoot.
other.
And Civil War was pretty bad too because the machining on guns had gotten pretty good.
Yeah, you had repeaters.
Yeah.
You had the.
But I mean, that's late 1800s, 1876.
But then in
area.
World War One, it's like, yo, you got guys
1865.
standing in rows getting mowed down by machine guns.
well, it's
By
the
heavy
trenches.
artillery.
You got mortars. You got it's great tanks.
And then 20 years later, we drop bombs that were unfathomable at World War One phase. Fathomable.
Unfathomable.
Unfathomable. But you know what I'm saying? It's just interesting. So it's like, even I keep seeing this on my algorithm for whatever reason. Guys who are young white guys, like 20, 21, 22, who say things that to me, I'm like, oh, that's a weird thing to say. But like a guy being like, I fucking got stiffed today, by some table because I'm white. And it's like, I watched this video of this guy. He was like a waiter in LA. He's a young guy, and he's just talking about like, these people were rude to me because I'm just a white guy.
What?
You know? Or like, I saw this kid in Australia, young guy in Australia, who was fighting back against the government to buy land for a white settlement. Right? These are young people.
What the hell?
Young people. Young people.
Young
and it's
white.
like this. You want to know what leads people to this thought is the past 20 years. The past 20 years of sort of like everybody realizing, white guys have done a lot of horrible stuff. We should really make sure that we keep an eye on white guys. Okay, well, you keep an eye on any people group long enough, and they're going to start going like, hey, stop fucking doing that.
Right.
And then you get people like these people who are being weird on the internet like it's normal.
Yeah.
Because all that they know about life is the way that they've been treated and what they've gone through. They don't know.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're not taking into consideration the full context of everything.
But that leads you to the question, which is, did people come to this realization organically?
That's I don't know.
If
Right.
you spend your entire existence as an organization, and we won't name any three-letter agencies by name, studying human psychology and what makes us tick, and
The FDA.
yeah, and all you have to do is be like, now do them, get them.
Yeah.
And then create a persecution complex, and then those people become the monster you've accused their grandpa of being.
Yeah, well, there's definitely something about prior to the 1950s, like prior to really like McCarthyism, right? Like the hunt, the track down of all those
The Red
fucking
Scare.
reddies, those fucking redders.
Those
we-
Reds, never mind. No, not that one.
We had a lot of division, like political division. Like there were a lot of different sects of sort of like, I'm this kind of socialist,
Sects.
or I'm this sort of whatever. I'm even like, there was fascism in the 30s in America. You know, there was a lot of different things going on.
Oh, yeah.
And it has sort of dwindled to sort of like two things now, or like three things really. But you are starting to see more and more people push out to these weirder, like, ooh, we should, like, what's fascism about?
Right,
You know,
right,
it's
which is
like,
wild.
I don't think, I mean, even like, what's communism about?
And
like,
Marxism
these are bad things.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
we've tried some of these things and they haven't been very good.
Chat GPT, you know?
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Chat
some of that
GPT.
stuff too, like this sort of technocracy push, and like
Right.
Yeah.
people know that this is bad. People aren't like, hey, you know, 99% chance it's gonna be good, only 1% chance it's gonna be bad. You know, they're
Yeah.
like, it's probably gonna be bad.
Yeah. What if it is like it becomes a consciousness, and then like, you know, a lot of people flock to this thing that's like the next wise like overseer that people think is like some weird religion that's like a messiah coming back, like a mechanical Jesus or something.
Right.
You know, it's like ChatGPT or artificial intelligence becomes some kind of like religion.
You can already see
Scientology.
I assume it's
Yeah.
becoming a religion.
that
right
is
now.
already man, I somebody sent me an article, man, this was probably like 4 or 5 years ago, about a Silicon Valley group that had created an AI that they were worshiping.
Yeah,
That.
I think
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah, it's
Also,
pretty
if Nine Inch Nails doesn't come out with a record called Mechanical Jesus,
wild. Oh,
Mechanical AI
I'm
Jesus.
saying if they don't, what,
Oh, if they don't,
what
oh.
a waste.
I was like, dang.
Because that rules. I mean, I don't love Nine Inch Nails, but yeah,
It's
I'll
a
throw them a bone if
it's a weird thing. We talk about this a lot. I was kind of trying to scare the homies at our office about this the other day.
I was doing a little bit of my own fear porn.
Just doing some fear mongering in the office about AI. But it is hard to imagine that, like, well, I mean, what Chris and I do is it's sort of like puzzle work, right? Like it is sort of, you have to take a little information from here and a little information from here, and you know, whatever, and you got to go smush it all together and make it all make sense. But it is not rocket science.
Nope.
And I was arguing with a homie in the office the other day. I was like, you could probably already create a language model that could do 90% of what we do, right? And if you could come up with the other 10%, which is really that touch and feel sort of like guesswork,
Yep.
I mean, you can have an AI watching the market. You can have an AI that analyzes, tells you when's the best time to lock, what's the best this, what's the best that.
Better than us.
I don't know. It's just like we're all headed towards.
It's a race against the clock.
Yeah, not
I told
having
Stock
jobs.
off that too. It's a race against the clock, and he knows.
Well, the rebuttal is so silly. Everybody's always like, there'll always be that need for a physical human touch, and I'm like, no,
not if it's cheaper.
Not if it's cheaper and easier and 100% accurate. What are you talking about? Like, if you still go to Blockbuster?
Yeah. No,
if it was open, I would.
No, it doesn't. Yeah. No.
If that little mom and pop movie store was open that I grew up going to,
you would now. But in 2014. You know, when you were loving Netflix,
first got
when it was
into Netflix,
cool and awesome. No,
I was loving it because it was free.
Because it was free. And
I was going until they closed to the movie store.
Sure, and maybe you're a freak, but
And he has a cassette player, and he listens to AC/DC.
he's a cool guy.
I wear sweatbands.
He's got a Walkman.
Dude, Walmart has robots. I went into a Walmart in Dawsonville, and they got a full robot at the cafeteria, and it makes smoothies and shit.
Kill it.
Yeah,
Chris,
You
I
have to
kill
kill
it.
it.
I've been trying to find a way to tell you this. That's just a disabled guy with a prosthetic. That's a veteran.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, he's a veteran.
That's just a
He just
disabled
has no
veteran.
legs.
Chris, that AI robot at Walmart is actually God, and you need to take your clothes off.
It's a greeter in a rascal.
I'm gonna go in my white linens. I'm gonna wear those white linens
It's
and go.
God. Wrestle him.
Take your clothes off and wrestle it.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I mean,
Would you like a smoothie? And I'm like, fuck you! For peace!
for salvation. That would rule. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think the scary part is not one side or the other, right? It's the sort of what's the trash chute in Star Wars effect, where both of the walls are closing, where it's like we have an AI that can trick people that one just passed the Turing test reportedly, where it's what do you call it?
Smart as hell.
Yeah. It can pass as a person.
Right. Right. Yes.
And it's like, well, yeah, but also,
We'll see how many bikes are on this picture.
yeah, right. We'll see how it goes with CAPTCHA.
Right.
Can you get past CAPTCHA?
You get past that CAPTCHA.
Which I
Yeah.
do like how tricky they've had to get him. Like,
God
God damn, am
damn.
I a robot? Like, does this count if the bottom corner of the light, of the stoplight is in it?
I got
have
one.
to select that.
You know what that is about?
Count it.
So there was a thing about that guy. He actually owns Duolingo. You know that app?
Oh,
It
yeah,
teaches you
yeah.
shit. He created the CAPTCHA.
Yep.
And CAPTCHA is just us training an AI model on how to
Right.
pick out objects out of a picture. So every time you do a CAPTCHA and it's like, are you a robot? Well, you're teaching a robot because it's actually teaching an AI model what things are.
How to pass.
Man, robots are retarded. If they don't have it
Crazy,
figured out by now.
Yeah. So the guy created a thing.
Every time I
So
get a CAPTCHA
robots
now, I'm just going to
can
shoot
learn.
my computer.
Have you guys gotten the puzzle yet?
Yeah.
The puzzle piece?
No,
That one is crazy.
I don't think so.
There's like one I've gotten a couple times where it's like you have to take a puzzle piece and put it in the right spot.
Oh yes.
It's like, this is crazy.
If it really wanted to test if you were a person, it would just tell you to come on the screen.
Yeah.
Just spit on me.
Is that discrimination? Like if a robot really was on the computer and be like, there is no option to say that I am.
I am a
It's just,
robot.
I am not a robot.
All right, quick. We need to verify that you're a human. Please type the N word.
We got your
correctly. Spelled correctly.
No? Question mark?
Yeah.
Got it.
That will be a. People have talked about that before, where it's like in the future, if we're just like sharing civilization with robots who have an argument for sentience, will there be like anti-discrimination laws? There will be like a robot civil rights movement.
What movie is that? iRobot?
iRobot is kind of that, yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, which is
exactly.
wild.
Dude, the
What was I
slapper.
saying? Fuck.
Stop being golly forgetful. You're forgetful Frank this afternoon.
A lot of head injuries, dude. A lot of CTE.
Wrestling.
DJ, you done anything fun this week? I've seen you a couple times.
Seen you a couple of times. I mean, I'm very excited.
Stanhope,
Tonight, Doug Stanhope, the fucking legend, is at Helium.
our God, we will be there naked.
Yeah, naked.
Wrestling him. Get over here, you fucker.
Stand up, please. I'll just wrestle you.
So I'm excited about that. The Die Laughing Boys, shout out to them.
Shout 'em out.
We're kind enough to give me another 5 on the showcase.
Oh, I didn't even know you did 5 at that
Freedom.
showcase.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like to assume, but that was fun.
Was that the one that Big E was on?
No, he's
coming up
Friday
on one,
in
yeah.
Dahlonega. Go
Yeah,
if you're in Dahlonega and you listen to our podcast, which there's probably like a 3-person crossover of that.
Yeah, go support Eric.
Eric Scott, friend of the show.
go.
He's fun, dude. He's a nice guy.
He's really hitting his stride. We had a great time at Ship and Anchor on Monday.
Hell
that was
yeah,
super
we did,
fun.
yeah.
Which I do kind of. I feel like
I
there's-
slurred.
there-
I slurred so hard.
Dude, this isn't a deposition.
I just think that people want
Confessional.
honesty. Plus, everybody was there. Everybody who watches our
That's
podcast
true.
was there.
Everybody loves Raymond. But yeah, it was fun. I kind of want to put on record because I feel like, and this may be the lamest thing ever, but I thought it was fun. And there's been a lot of memes about the Katy Perry going to space thing,
Oh, yeah,
which
yeah,
are
yeah,
fun. Facebook is fun because they'll have marked safe from believing that Katy Perry went to space, and it'll be like the little flag thing. Or Wendy's tweeted after somebody tweeted Katy Perry made it back from space safe, and Wendy's Twitter was like, "Can we send her back?" Or that could have been fake.
Oh my god.
That was cool. But
Wendy's is a good tweeter.
But it's
Yeah.
not space, right? They just go real high.
they go a little bit higher than planes. Yeah. What do you call it? The upper crust.
They just get up in
The
the high
stratosphere?
part.
I believe.
They just
maybe.
get up where you can't see the sky anymore.
where the air's thin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the hell did we do? Why are we sending her up there? Why did we
Dude, she
send?
can do whatever. What?
Because she has money.
Why?
She's on American
Well,
Idol.
Who cares? Katy Perry rules.
But didn't Orlando Bloom go to space?
Isn't that her husband?
That's what I'm saying. So you think maybe he went to space and then she was like, "The fuck?
Did he
You go to space?"
Did he-
monkeys have gone to space?
Did he go up there just to be like probably the biggest dick ever in space?
Ooh.
Because Orlando Bloom is famously hung up. But I thought it was fun. I opened Ship and Anchor the other day, and I want to put a timestamp on this in case you fucks try to steal. No, just kidding. But it won't be relevant for very long. So I thought it was fun. I was like, look, I would never wish anything bad happen on that flight, but we did miss out a little bit on if the rocket would have taken off and immediately exploded in the air, we could have video compilations of that to the song Firework by Katy Perry. Baby, you're
Damn.
in an alternate universe, that probably happened to those versions of us are talking about it on the podcast.
That's right.
That's crazy.
Dang, Orlando Bloom didn't go to space.
Why did you think that he did?
I don't know.
That's crazy. I was gonna go to that show, but
What show? Stanhope tonight?
no.
Shit.
She did
Oh, Saturday.
Saturday.
Oh
but
yeah,
Big
tell us your
gay?
tale.
Me and
been
a
waiting to
couple of friends of the
shoehorn this
podcast,
in.
I will not name them, we ate some mushrooms.
It was
And-
my parents.
Yeah.
My parents.
And
They hung out
Zach's
with Cole.
dad.
Zach's naked dad.
No, and I
Who let Dad's dog out?
Yeah.
there, at one point in the night we were watching
Who let the hogs
this
out?
DJ Pretty Lights. It was
She's hot, right?
No, not it. It's this 6'7" guy who has like
Oh.
this crazy analog board behind him.
I'm thinking of
And
Lights.
it's like
She's super hot.
she is. I love you, Lights. If you're out there, I know you are.
I know you listen to the pod.
It's a lion.
But
I know that song.
I was laying in the floor and I just start laughing hysterically because like. You know, like when you're tripping, you'll eventually get the rainbow effect. Things will be like very rainbowy.
yeah.
And I was just like, is tripping making me a little gay? And then like I could feel the sub and I could feel like I could literally feel it in my butthole. I was like, is this, are the mushrooms trying to tell me to be gay? And then I had this hilarious idea that like, what if all gay people are just kind of tripping and like that is their
That's
reality?
how they perceive the world.
Through like rainbow lenses, and it was cracking me.
What are you, the CIA in the 50s, dude? Drugs don't make you gay.
Although, again, if you're studying drugs the whole time,
Yeah.
and then you're like, well, if we do this and we hybridize these mushrooms and we synthesize this chemical, maybe we could influence people to be
Maybe
gay.
we could be gay.
And now
That's
the whole
right.
world's gay.
Yeah,
No, I don't know.
You know,
it was very,
I'm just
fun,
joking.
very
things
funny.
breathe when you're tripping, right?
Yeah.
So your butthole is probably like.
It was just the ground vibrating because I was laying right next to a sub.
Oh yeah, baby.
Like, and it's just like I was already having gay thoughts.
He was already hanging out with dudes being gay. It was probably the kissing and the fingering of his butthole earlier.
It was the penis inside of me that made me feel gay.
Am I gay? If I let these guys fucking pound me, am I gay?
Is it even gay?
It was very funny.
I'll tell you where you began being gay. You guys get high and then watch DJs.
That's not the only thing we did.
I'm just saying.
I will
Tropic
say
Thunder was wild.
Hey, there
we
you
watched
go.
Tropic Thunder. That
That's
was
good.
a wee bit overwhelming for my taste.
that sounds
And then
awesome.
we watched a
Tropic
King
Thunder.
Gizzard concert, which was fucking
King
awesome.
Gizzard's crazy.
Yeah, we watched.
Shout out to those guys.
They were playing at Red Rock, and it was so cool how they would film it because like they had like so many different cameras and like styles of cameras. I guess I'm not into film, but like the way that it would just like edit into like, oh, this looks like it's filmed in like Woodstock or something like that, and then now it's in 4K.
So it'd be a filter,
It was like filtering through like
and then film probably.
yeah.
And then I imagine they probably did a little bit of oil art where they projector and oil and
Well,
water.
sometimes it was hard to tell if this was editing or if this was mushrooms.
This could have been your
It's
brand.
one of my favorite games. Is this mushrooms or is this?
I have to go back and
Well, that's
watch
it. I'm trying to work that into a bit. The thing where it's like, am I super high or is this guy trying to fuck me?
I love that bit.
Yeah, that ends with
It's about 35 seconds long at this point, but
Yeah,
it is fun.
The ending of that is good. It's like buddy of mine told me the other day that is actually just called homophobia.
It is fun, dude.
That's good, clean fun.
It's good, clean fun.
Yeah. What else happened? Dude. I tried to write a bunch of jokes. That was weird.
While you were on Mushies?
Yeah. I'm probably gonna try them out tomorrow night. We'll
Let
fucking
'em
see.
rip.
How many grams do you think you rocked?
Why don't you come with us tonight? Why don't you not go? Or, well, you can't go tomorrow, but why don't you come with us tonight?
Well, I'm not done talking about mushrooms. I think I took like maybe 1.5 grams. Like nothing
okay.
wild.
Not too bad.
Pretty. Yeah. I mean, a potent 1.5 grams, depending on the mushrooms, can do work.
Oh, I mean,
if you were seeing trails and rainbows,
I mean,
you were
full
fine.
kaleidoscopes at some point. Like
that's
it was
pretty cool.
just like
On 1.5?
yeah, dude. These were some
I'm
delicious.
just big,
You are
though.
a big
You
guy.
are
You
a
need
big
more.
guy for sure. But again,
big.
potency is like all over the place with mushrooms.
That is true. You
For
could,
sure,
you could
you
just
got-
bite down on one, and all of a sudden it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember this one time. My friend was like, we were like, we were gonna play some music, and he's like, "Oh, I got some mushrooms. Like, do you want a little bit?" And I was like, "That sounds so much fun to play music all day and just
let
be
it-
like a little high from mushrooms."
Sure.
And then like,
Yeah.
so I took 1 gram, and I
Just a
literally
little high.
thought my tongue was trying to like dive down my throat. I was like, what the fuck is... I had to like go outside and take some deep breaths. I was like, dude, Elliot, Graham, what the fuck is this? And he's like, oh, dude, I'm sorry. I grabbed the wrong ones. These are penis envy mushrooms. I was like, God
sure.
damn, dude, you trying to kill my ass.
Oopsies.
My bad.
Full blown, like... Great. Now I'm having a panic attack. Now I gotta go walk around. I gotta fucking look at the sky and remember that I'm alive. And
Dude, somebody was telling me that. Have you ever heard of waylay or waylay mushrooms?
No.
I think so.
They have psilocybin in them, and they're pretty common in North Georgia. Like, and they were telling me they used to go pick them all the time. And I was like, oh, nice. Where'd you go pick them? I assumed they were going to be like, oh, just outside of Ellijay or something. And my homie was like, I used to go pick them at Fowler Park. I was like, you did what? What? She's like, yeah, I can find them all over Fowler Park, come away with a big-ass grocery bag full of mushrooms. And I was like, really? And she's like, yeah, but don't bother now because they have, like, all the kids that work there, they just have them go spray fungicide. I'm like, these people should be in prison. This is crazy, dude. But I do think there's a couple different types that are native to North Georgia.
How do we get them to grow in my backyard?
You can grow them in your closet.
It
right now.
would probably be
Closet.
better to grow them under your sink.
Right.
Yeah, you can grow them right
I
in your
got
closet.
mushrooms growing in the backyard.
In the sink.
Yeah,
Got a couple of mushrooms going in the backyard. I think about eating them and then just passing away.
Yeah, those are probably
They'll get me high or
death
they're
caps
poisonous.
or whatever.
Yeah.
I did see a cool thing on Instagram that was like a mushroom tower, and it like.
And then did it get
It's
hit by a
for
mushroom
growing.
plane?
I got this thing from Target one time where you could grow mushrooms out of this
Fuckers.
box and then cook with them.
Yeah,
Nice.
I've seen that. Which does look cool. Like obviously having trippy mushrooms
The
at your
time
disposal
lapse.
would be awesome, but
Yeah.
so would
Just cooking. Just
cooking
with some
mushrooms.
shiitake.
Some
Dude, I
Takis.
love mushroom, butt
kinds.
mushroom, shiitake.
Could
What
just
are the
go
little
up.
Asian ones called?
Filipinos.
Anaki mushrooms.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Filipino. The
What are the little Asian
the Taiwanese.
Good.
I like the time lapse.
stuff.
Yeah, I like the time lapse videos of the mushrooms growing. Those are fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
like where they'll take like a phone book and put it in a.
Oh yeah,
and
that's
Yeah.
fun.
you watch it over time. Just
It's beautiful.
That is fun.
yeah, that might be aliens.
Yeah, mushrooms. I mean,
Yeah, 100%.
there's
Stoned ape theory. I mean,
stoned ape theory's fun.
yeah.
But there's also just like certain fungal spores can survive in the vacuum of space.
It would be interesting if really mushrooms have just been jumping from planet to
Right.
planet
And I
for
think they're-
all of time, and then finally they got somewhere where there was like something going on, you know?
Right, a thriving.
And then they were like, all right,
Diverse
we might
environment.
be able to do something with this. And then
Yeah.
they turned the monkeys into people.
Yep.
Mushrooms are definitely interesting. And mushrooms being the origin of what we know as consciousness now is pretty fun.
Did you see the thing about mushrooms where it's like they found a mushroom that can eat microplastics?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
right.
I think what's crazy.
Mushrooms is the answer.
I can't wait till they
what's-
find a mushroom that can suck my dick.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the idea that mushrooms are kind of the future is like the biggest burnout idea, but it's like then you see stuff like that. You're like a mushroom that can live.
It
and
almost makes
sustain
me mad.
itself
It's like,
on
all right,
trash.
fucking, we get it. It's rules.
The mushrooms
Just-
rules.
Wasn't that? I mean, that is the plot of that show, The Last of Us.
Yeah.
Well,
which is
but
that.
it's the end too, right? Like mushrooms are the downfall of
Yeah, well,
human.
it's something like cordyceps.
Yeah,
Right.
they're
It's like
able.
if the whole temperature of the Earth or something was 2 degrees hotter, cordyceps would do something, and then it's bad.
Yeah, because cordyceps mushrooms now will get
Totally
into the
normal.
brain of an ant.
Yeah.
Like we can eat
Yeah.
cordyceps mushrooms fine, but a cordyceps mushroom will get into the brain of an ant and then drive an ant around and make it jump into water.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Which is pretty wild. I think they may have one that does praying mantises too, which is crazy.
And they just do tricks, and then they just do like the Sky King.
Dude,
It's like,
They just
They're
take
just-
the ant for like
They just
a
fucking
little
turn into
suit on
evil Knievel.
yeah, dude, they're
That's
just
the
I'm gonna
sex.
jump this lake.
doing stunts.
them. You guys ever? I hate the hard turn, but I brought it up. You guys ever fuck with Sky King?
Sky
No,
King?
what's Sky
I don't know what that is.
King?
Dang, dude.
Is it like SSX?
Like Kill does her, dude? He's just like a folk hero. You'll definitely remember the story. There's a guy a couple decade ago who hijacked a plane
Oh,
and then
Oh yeah.
just like looped it around a
and then
bunch
he
and then
calls
crashed
in
it.
like the
Yeah.
towers and he's
Every
like,
couple of years, I watch there's like a compilation of the radio
him doing
call.
tricks.
rest in peace,
It's just
man.
the radio call between him and the tower. He seems like such a cool guy. He's just like, hey man, you think this plane could do a barrel roll? They're like, I don't know. Why don't you land the plane? He's like, yeah, I don't think so, guys.
oh, I do remember
You know?
that.
He's like, I
Rules.
think I just want to have some fun over here, you know? And they're like, please, just, hey, man, give it a barrel roll and then land it. He's, all right, let's see if it'll barrel roll. And then
So he just
barrel-
has this plane with nobody in it. It's
yeah,
just
it's just
him.
like a huge pass. It's not a huge, but it's probably like a 60-seater.
But he just like snuck out onto the
Yeah,
yeah. I'm
yeah.
trying to
Oh,
remember
yeah.
the story.
Yeah,
I would
he-
like to put that compilation
He
to
wanted
that.
to commit suicide, and he just jumped out.
Oh,
Yeah, he just jumped out onto the runway and hijacked a plane, got it up in the air. He was like, I play video games. I kind of know how to do this. Like,
That's wild.
playing Flight Simulator
Wait,
all
so-
the time. What a
Did he
What a
just
cool guy.
come up with like call sign Sky King, or how did Sky King? Do you know how
I
Sky
don't know.
King
I think
became
that's
this
just
thing?
what kind of they just donned him Sky.
It was like
Sky
the
King.
press, probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty wild. He just
And,
jumps out and says Sky King.
He just threw it into the side of a mountain. He ran it out for like an hour or something. He was up in the air, and then he just
That's pretty wild. Yeah, I want to put his flight compilation
awesome.
to that Candlebox song that Kenny Powers plays at the funeral.
yeah, that would be cool stuff.
That would rule. Or to the Fat Boy.
Fat Boy.
Did you guys hear about Weezer's bassist's wife?
Yeah, that's
dude?
crazy. She shot at a cop.
No, I don't think she shot at the cop.
Oh, what?
She just wouldn't put her gun
No,
down.
I read that she.
I know it's conflicting. There's
okay.
just the reports suck.
I
dude.
read that she fired shots at the police. Is what I read.
The best,
Some liberal reporter, fucking, she said words.
the best part was like all of the dog shit newspapers had headlines that were like, "Say it ain't so." But then, like, the New York Post had an article. They always have fun headlines, but then they had an article that I looked at today to see if there was an update. I was just like cruising for updates, and they had one that was like, "The show must go on."
Yeah, I saw this article.
Weezer's bassist went to play Coachella like the week after.
Oh, wow.
And then
His wife got shot.
They bothered to mention in the article that they don't bring it up. It's like, yeah, of course they
He's
don't bring it up.
No comment. Yeah,
Is she
We're
alive?
going to talk about it on
It's like,
stage.
free whatever. I forgot her name. She's
Hey,
like,
we just want to take a moment as Weezer here at Coachella to address this bass player's wife.
Did she die?
No.
Nah, she's got shot in the arm.
So I guess what happened was police were, from what I read, police were pursuing a hit and run.
Yeah.
And so I guess these people found their way through their backyard.
Sure.
And she had a gun and was like, "Get the fuck out of here." And by the time the cops showed up, it's just her standing there with a gun. And then she points it at the cops and they were like, "Put your gun down." And she was like, "No, you put your gun down."
wow.
So this chick rocks.
I mean, if you've seen her, she's like got a
have
half
seen her.
sleeve.
I have
She's hot as
seen her,
fuck.
yeah.
Dang, dude, these goddamn Japanese women.
I don't think she's
Goddamn, these half Japanese girls, dude.
I think she. Why'd you say
That's
that?
the lyric.
That's the lyric.
Goddamn, these half Japanese girls.
golly, I missed it.
He fucked it
I
up.
fucked it. Well, I don't listen to Weezer.
All right, well, you tried your best.
I
dude.
tried
That's
my
all
best. I
But
knew something about Japanese women.
Goddamn, these half Japanese girls.
I assume
I was close enough.
She might have been fucked up or something and just having a good time, and then she decided, fuck it.
She got cowboy on
She
the hit and
cowboyed up.
run person in her backyard, and then the cops show up, and she's like,
Fuck
"No,
you,
you
get out of
put
my
it
yard."
down."
Yeah.
It wasn't me.
I
Keep
had
going.
mine out first.
But you could see being like, they went that way,
Yeah.
and they're just like, "Put your gun down," and she's like, "No." So then they shot her in the shoulder, and she ran in the house.
Damn.
Oh, she was able to run in the house? What a badass.
And then they
She's
Waco style
Put a
Wait.
tank through the window. Yeah.
They got killdozer.
They Ruby Ridge. They killed their
Dang.
dog.
That was pretty wild.
It was wild.
I haven't finished it yet, but I'm going through. I got turned on to the. Have you guys heard of Joyce McKinney?
No.
No,
So-
but I've heard of Joyce Manor.
Sure.
Sure. I have an aunt named Joyce.
Pretty hot.
Same.
Should we rejoice?
I
I don't think so. Yeah, Joyce. Joyce McKinney was like this hot pageant lady in the 70s.
Hell yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
And-
Bush.
Nice bush.
Of age.
This lady, feel free to Google her. She's a babe.
What was her name again?
Joyce McKinney,
George W.
who ended up like born and raised in North Carolina, then ends up going out west, goes to college for a while at Brigham Young, like converts
She
to
looks like
Mormonism.
shit. What are you talking
Oh,
about?
come on, dude. Look at that lady.
What the hell? That's fetal alcohol syndrome right there. Look at her.
Don't project, dude.
She's in a wheelchair.
I think she's a good-looking lady for being in the 50s. You just have to look at it. You gotta.
I just said it's in the 70s.
Whatever. This is you older ladies. You got to look at.
She's,
with
a,
it.
she's like
No,
one,
she's not.
She's like one notch below a 70s starlet.
I don't wanna
But
see.
I think she won. She eventually wins like Miss Wyoming or comes runner
Forgive
up
me,
or some
just
shit.
not my type.
She looks
Sure,
like
sure.
that blonde lady on White Lotus.
She
The
looks a
third
little
friend.
bit like Diane from Cheers,
Oh, yeah.
which I'm a big fan
Jeez.
of.
She's all gums, Jerry.
She's gummed up for sure. She's
She's
a little
a
gummed.
bit gummed.
She's got Disney adult.
Okay, tell me about it.
What?
Tell me about
oh,
the slut,
sorry.
dude.
So anyway, goes
she's
to Brigham
hot
Young for
as
a while.
hell.
Falls in love with like this dorky guy, that guy that was in the picture.
Okay.
I believe his name is Kurt or Kirk Anderson.
Cool.
Oh.
Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle, Captain Kirk. And so they apparently they had sex and she got pregnant and miscarried, like all this shit.
Okay.
And then they both get in trouble with the Mormon church. Then they separate. She goes on to do escort work, I think, and
Wow.
bondage and sexy calls and
Nice.
Cool.
all this stuff.
Yeah.
Saves up a bunch of money. Fucking he goes on his mission to the UK, and by this time it's like the late 70s. Then reportedly, she and an accomplice kidnap him with fake pistols, and they have like ether and chloroform.
Okay.
She takes him to this secluded location, ties him up,
Pro move.
bangs him out,
Yes.
Okay.
forcibly sucks his dick.
That's awesome.
Whoa.
This is
all
getting
this
good.
stuff.
Yeah.
And then he, like, his story was that he escaped by telling them, "I'm gonna go, denounce my faith to the like this chapter of the Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints church, whatever." And because of what I've done, because we had, extramarital stuff. So then they finally catch these two people like a couple weeks later on the run. Then maybe they use fake passports. Maybe they've got all this shit in their trunk, whatever. So then they go to court, and her testimony is that like this was all consensual. He just feels really bad and had a domineering mother, and he's really sexually
what a
repressed.
savage
Okay.
bitch.
So she has to tie him up, but the whole thing was like his idea for a sexy time. And I haven't finished it, so I have no idea how it ends. But
Dude, if
Dang,
you've
dude.
ever had like a woman like force herself on you, it's kind of like I've had a girl like force herself like to kiss me like back in
sure.
high school.
Right.
Well, yeah, it was around that time. And
she was a nice girl.
Right. She was a nice guy.
Just kidding.
holy shit, that's gonna age poorly. I'm just kidding.
okay,
but it's because like, all right, it's clear that I'm like pushing back.
Sure.
And it's like if I get any more physical, like get the fuck off me.
Yeah, this could be horrible.
This is gonna be like, oh, he hit me,
shoved me.
It's
Yeah.
terrifying.
I got a buddy, but I won't say his name. I won't blow up his spot. But he got SA'd by a lady when he was like 14.
An adult woman.
Yeah, like a 25-year-old lady.
Golly,
Oh,
I'm glad this is over because I'm hard as shit.
I have a friend that.
I mean, it was against his will. I mean, he when you talk to him about it, he's like,
No,
it's
yeah, I'm sure.
traumatizing.
Yeah.
He's like, oh man, I got raped. He's like,
Because she was yucky.
I think it was not the most desirable situation.
Just a
I
cross-eyed
had a good friend in
hell
college
pig.
get taken advantage of when he was drunk by this girl,
Ooh.
and he like the next morning he was like, that cannot happen because he had a girlfriend at the time.
Oh, okay.
And the girl said, you're gonna be sorry, and then literally the cops were at his house the next day, arrested him,
Fucking
had to
terrifying.
jump through a bunch of hurdles to like get out of it, but thank God he
Jeez.
still had the text messages.
Wow.
Because like that's what I'm saying. It's like
That's
if
why-
a woman's crazy enough to force herself on you, she's
Yeah.
crazy enough to throw the grape card.
That's why. It's why I'm always wearing a wire.
I'll say this to our audience, dude. Rent your clothes, dude. Stand, bush ass naked before the Lord, and wrestle with these ideas. Do not radicalize.
Don't radicalize.
Do not
dude.
radicalize. We are Jedi.
Stay humble and kind.
Stay humble and kind, dude.
That's right.
Buy our chastity belts.
And buy our chastity belts. You guys
Yeah,
get
War of the Losers
Against
metal
flesh and blood.
hit the
chastity
Bible.
belts.
Hit the Bible. Homework this week. Read the whole Bible.
Read the whole Bible.
Or
Read the whole ass
audiobook
Bible.
it.
James, the Greek Bible.
James Earl Jones.
That's what I would say.
Yeah, James Earl Jones, the whole ass Bible. It's on YouTube.
Audio book, baby.
All right.
Pubes,
behold, a pale horse, and on it back
And behold, David
That was
was
pretty
butt
good.
ass naked before the Lord.
wrestle before the.
Wrestle me, David.
Chris Moody,
Chris Mooney, sign us
send
out.
us out.
give these people something inspiring.
Dude, let's go to Giza. Let's figure out. Let's bring your shovels.
Yeah.
Let's figure out what's underneath the pyramids.
You want to set a date and time?
Yeah, but it's gonna be on May 4th. May 4th. May the 4th be with you. We're gonna fly out to Giza
We're gonna fly to
We're
Giza.
gonna figure out what's underneath the
Just be
pyramids.
met with hostility from
Yeah.
the
Everybody
Egyptian
bring a
government.
shovel to Giza.
Bring a
We're just
shovel.
gonna dig. They can't stop us
They can't
all.
stop from
Can
digging.
you dig it, sucker?
What are they gonna do if 80 people show up with shovels?
80 guys. Just most of the people that subscribe that could make it.
on Camelback?
Sorry, guys, I had something going on.
Yeah, dude.
Anyway, 4 strands of rope.
4 strands of rope. Oh, strands of rope.
Let's see if we can do
it. We're finally back. Hold on. No. It's. Yep.
I know.
Hey! Bye, guys.
Love you.
Bye.